Well, we're finally here. Here's the module you've all been waiting for. Napoleon Hill is famous for this chapter and or infamous, if you might say. The idea of sex transmutation is a significant success indicator or characteristic of very successful people. Now, what he really meant by this is that successful people tend to have a highly developed sex drive. Now, again, you got to dance around this carefully a little bit, but it's pretty hard to question whether this is true or not. People may not like it, but again, there are just countless examples. And he wrote this in the 1930s, and it was true then. And it is, if you go through the last 80 or 90 years, I'll take a quick little cruise ahead here and show you, and we'll see. Think of all the scandals in the world of politics, in the world of Hollywood, where you have these very successful people, typically men, and they seem to throw it all away. They're stupid about crazy chances that they're going to take over the topic of sex. Think President John F. Kennedy, countless examples of crazy things that he shouldn't have been doing in the White House. President Clinton, President Trump has some history. And again, those aren't the only three presidents. Lots of the others. If you read biographies of all these people, you will see this all over the place. In Hollywood, the Harvey Weinstein producer and all the stuff he was doing, which gave kind of cause to the Me Too movement, which kind of pulled everybody out of the closet, and you found out everybody was doing stuff that they shouldn't have been doing. And they should know better. These are grown-ups, and yet they just couldn't seem to stop. In the world of corporate America, it doesn't get the publicity. But again, NBC had some examples. Fox News has had examples. Probably every major corporation has examples of sex being just crazy when it violates what they should be doing, and they do it anyway. Prince Andrew has been implicated in some things recently. Throughout history, kings and of countries, it's just everywhere. And Napoleon Hill is basically just saying the facts. It's what is out there. He's not saying it's good or bad. It just is. Now, his solution to this is to first recognize it. And you recognize you shouldn't be doing the stuff they're doing. So what he wants you to do is harness the natural sex drive that he thinks this is basically a natural thing, just biological. And the more successful people have it to a higher extent. And what you want to be able to do is harness that sex drive. No, you can't just let it run wild, but harness it into more productive business enterprises or activities. That's his solution to the sex transmutation thing. We're going to take it from one place and transmutate it into something else, something that is productive rather than destructive. He talks about a concept about the genius mind, developing a sixth sense. And this is sort of, again, how you draw that power. And you develop the genius mind by meditation and prayer. He's a big fan of, he has this term called sitting for ideas, where you isolate yourself, close your eyes 2 or 3 minutes. Well, actually, the sitting for ideas is basically set aside 10, 15 minutes to an hour. Some of his examples are talking about people who did it for an hour. Sit in a dark room with a pad and paper and just concentrate. And anytime you get a brilliant thought, you write it down. And a lot of successful people have done that very efficiently. Before you have to make a decision, the idea that you might close your eyes for 2 or 3 minutes and have sort of a mini meditation to try and get inspiration as to what is the right decision. Do we do it or do we not do it? And before you make the decision based on kind of objective criteria, he's a big fan of close your eyes and kind of ask for intervention and hope something brilliant comes in. And frequently it does. Frequently it does. So that's what the sex transmutation chapter was all about. And I've always thought it'd be fun. I've given homework examples in other chapters or other modules, and you'll have to use your imagine to what your homework would be if I assigned some homework here. So I'm not going to do it, but I've always thought it was cute.